Picture this. You're sipping your morning coffee on a sun-drenched terrace overlooking endless lavender fields, the Mediterranean breeze carrying hints of orange blossoms while medieval stone villages dot the landscape as far as the eye can see. This isn't just a vacation fantasy. This could be your everyday retirement reality in Provence, France. But before you start packing your bags and practicing your French accent, let's dive deep into what it really takes to retire in one of the world's most coveted destinations. I'm about to reveal everything you need to know about retiring in Provence, from the shocking truth about costs that might surprise you, to the hidden challenges nobody talks about, plus the insider secrets that could save you thousands of euros. Whether you're dreaming of a modest cottage in a hilltop village or a luxurious villa near the coast, this comprehensive guide will transform you from a dreamy-eyed tourist into a savvy potential expat. Let me start with something that might blow your mind. Provence isn't just one place. When most people think of Provence, they imagine the same postcard-perfect scenes, but this region is actually a vast and diverse area spanning the heart of southeastern France. We're talking about a territory that stretches from the snow-capped Alps to the glittering Mediterranean coastline, encompassing everything from bustling cities like Marseille to tiny villages where the population barely reaches triple digits. The region sits strategically in the Alpes-Provence Côte d'Azur area, sharing borders with Italy. You can literally drive to Italian gelato in under an hour from some locations. This geographical blessing means you're not just choosing France, you're positioning yourself at the crossroads of Mediterranean culture with Spain, Monaco, and Italy all within easy reach for weekend adventures. Now let's talk about what draws people here beyond the obvious beauty. The weather alone is enough to make any retiree weak at the knees. We're talking about 300 days of sunshine per year. That's more than most places in California. The warm season stretches from April all the way through October, giving you 6 months of pure bliss for outdoor activities. Even winter rarely drops below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, meaning you can still enjoy morning walks and outdoor markets when folks back home are scraping ice off their windshields. But here's where things get interesting, and this is something most retirement guides won't tell you. The weather patterns in Provence can be dramatically different depending on exactly where you settle. Coastal areas enjoy more stable temperatures but deal with the infamous Mistral winds that can howl for days. Inland mountain areas offer cooler summers but potentially harsher winters. The key is matching your specific preferences and health needs to the right microclimate within the region. The expat community aspect deserves serious attention because it can make or break your retirement experience. Provence has attracted waves of international retirees over the decades, particularly from English-speaking countries. This means you'll find established communities of Americans, Australians, Brits, and Canadians who've already navigated the challenges you're about to face. These communities offer everything from book clubs conducted in English to hiking groups that know all the best trails, wine-tasting societies, and even volunteer organizations. However, and this is crucial, don't assume you can just slide into an English-speaking bubble and ignore French culture. The most successful expat retirees I've encountered are those who embrace both worlds. They maintain connections with their international community while also making genuine efforts to integrate with local French neighbors and traditions. Speaking of traditions, let's dive into the legendary Provençal lifestyle that captivates so many retirement dreamers. Life genuinely moves at a different pace here. Even in larger towns like Aix-en-Provence, the afternoon siesta concept still influences daily rhythms. Shops close for extended lunch breaks, restaurants don't rush you through meals, and the concept of work-life balance is woven into the cultural fabric in ways that can be both delightful and occasionally frustrating for newcomers. The market culture deserves special mention because it becomes central to daily life in ways you might not expect. Nearly every town hosts weekly markets that are far more than shopping expeditions. They're social events, cultural experiences, and windows into seasonal living. You'll find yourself planning your week around market days, building relationships with vendors who remember your preferences, and discovering ingredients that transform your cooking from routine to adventure. These markets showcase regional specialties that vary surprisingly even between neighboring towns. One village might be famous for its particular variety of olives, while another 20 minutes away is renowned for goat cheese or honey. This hyper-local food culture means your retirement dining experiences can be endlessly diverse without traveling far from home. The restaurant scene offers remarkable value when you know how to navigate it. Yes, you can find Michelin-starred establishments that'll cost you a fortune, but the real gems are the family-run bistros serving three-course meals for around $27. These aren't tourist traps. They're neighborhood institutions where locals gather, and the quality often surpasses much more expensive restaurants in major cities. But let's address the elephant in the room: money. Provence's reputation for expensive living isn't entirely unfounded, but it's also not the whole story. The key is understanding the dramatic cost variations within the region. Coastal towns and famous destinations like Saint-Tropez or Cannes operate on completely different economic scales than inland villages or smaller market towns. Here's a real-world example that illustrates this perfectly. A small one-bedroom furnished apartment in prestigious Aix-en-Provence might cost you around €920 per month. That same budget could secure you a spacious 2- or 3-bedroom house with a garden in a charming village 50 miles inland. We're talking about the difference between apartment living and having your own outdoor space, guest rooms for visiting family, and potentially even room for a hobby workshop or art studio. The inland areas often provide the most compelling value propositions for retirees. You're still within easy driving distance of coastal attractions and major cities, but your daily living costs drop significantly. Groceries cost less, restaurants charge less, property taxes are lower, and you often get much more space for your money. Transportation deserves serious consideration in your planning. While public transportation exists throughout Provence, having a car dramatically expands your options and independence. The region's towns and villages are connected by scenic country roads that make driving a pleasure rather than a chore, but you'll need to budget for vehicle expenses, insurance, and fuel costs that are typically higher than American standards. Healthcare represents one of France's strongest selling points for retirees. The French healthcare system consistently ranks among the world's best, and as a legal resident, you'll have access to high-quality medical care at costs that often shock American retirees. Prescription medications that cost hundreds of dollars in the US might cost less than €20 in France. Specialist consultations, routine checkups, and even complex procedures are typically much more affordable while maintaining excellent standards of care. However, navigating the healthcare system requires some preparation. You'll need to understand how to register with local doctors, what paperwork is required for insurance reimbursements, and how to handle prescriptions. Many expat communities have informal networks that help newcomers understand these systems, but it's worth researching the basics before you arrive. The visa and residency requirements have evolved significantly in recent years, particularly post-Brexit. American retirees need to plan carefully because tourist visas only allow 90-day stays. For longer-term residents, you'll typically need to demonstrate financial stability, health insurance coverage, and sometimes proof of accommodation. The application processes can take months, so this isn't something you can decide on a whim. Language considerations often cause anxiety for potential expat retirees. While you can certainly survive in tourist areas with limited French, truly integrating into Provençal life requires at least basic conversational ability. The good news is that the slower pace of life gives you time to practice, and locals generally appreciate efforts to speak French, even imperfect attempts. Many expat communities organize French conversation groups, and local community colleges often offer classes specifically designed for adult learners. Cultural integration challenges extend beyond language. French bureaucracy operates differently than American systems, with different expectations for documentation, appointment scheduling, and official procedures. Banking, insurance, tax obligations, and even simple things like setting up internet service can involve processes that feel unnecessarily complex to newcomers. The social aspects of retirement in Provence can be incredibly rewarding but require intentional effort. French social customs around friendship, neighborliness, and community involvement have their own rhythms and expectations. Understanding when it's appropriate to invite neighbors for drinks, how to participate in local festivals, or what constitutes polite interaction with shopkeepers can significantly impact your social success. Seasonal considerations affect daily life more than many retirees anticipate. Summer brings intense heat and tourist crowds that can transform peaceful villages into bustling attractions. Winter, while mild, can feel isolating if you're not prepared for shorter days and reduced social activities. Spring and autumn offer ideal conditions but require different wardrobes and activity planning than you might expect. The proximity to other European destinations opens incredible travel opportunities that can enrich your retirement beyond the borders of France itself. Weekend trips to Italian markets, Spanish beaches, Swiss mountains, or German Christmas markets become realistic possibilities. This access to diverse cultures, cuisines, and experiences can make your retirement feel like a continuous adventure rather than a settled routine. Property considerations deserve careful analysis whether you're buying or renting. French real estate laws, property taxes, inheritance regulations, and maintenance responsibilities differ significantly from American norms. Older properties, while charming, may require expensive upgrades for modern amenities or energy efficiency. Newer developments might lack character but offer contemporary conveniences and potentially lower maintenance costs. Ultimately, retiring in Provence offers the possibility of transforming your later years into a rich tapestry of cultural experiences, natural beauty, and relaxed living. The combination of excellent weather, outstanding food culture, accessible healthcare, and proximity to diverse European experiences creates compelling reasons to seriously consider this move. However, success requires honest assessment of your adaptability, financial resources, and willingness to embrace significant lifestyle changes. The dreamlike aspects of Provençal living are real, but they come with practical challenges that demand preparation, patience, and flexibility. Your retirement years could unfold against backdrops of lavender fields and medieval villages, punctuated by market visits and wine tastings, enriched by new friendships and cultural discoveries. But the key to achieving this dream lies in thorough planning, realistic expectations, and genuine enthusiasm for embracing a fundamentally different way of life. The question isn't whether Provence offers an attractive retirement destination. It clearly does. The real question is whether you're prepared to do the work necessary to make this dramatic life change successful and sustainable for the long term.